live martial arts class. You're going to learn how to spin a bow staff or how to bow staff spin. Grab your martial arts long staff. It can be a bow, jangbong, cudgel, whatever you want to call it. If it's kung fu, you could call it a bong, cudgel. What's the other word? I don't know, whatever. But grab a long staff. We're going to start spinning. Warm up your wrist, just going back and forth with one hand first. You want to get the flexibility in your wrist as you start to do the spin. Especially today, we're going to do a lot of this finger rolling, not just to make your arms stronger, but to stretch out the hand. So I want you to warm up properly. Do a spin in each hand, just back and forth. Get the blood flowing. Keep your wrist, your elbow, your fingers safe from injury during this workout, while you're also building some strength. Go back into the other hand. You're going to go back and forth. Again, we're just getting warmed up first. We're going to do a lot of, try to grab it there, my fingers. We're going to do a lot of this finger rolling, both this continuous finger roll and then the 3-finger roll with that thumb assist. Get warmed up side to side. You can start to work on going one way and then the other way. This is how you warm up, get ready for freestyle or bow flow if you do flow martial arts. Hello, it's good to see you. Just side to side and then over the top, spinning. Slow that down just a little bit. This is my right hand. It's going to go all the way up, so the pinky side's up. Left hand is on top. Right hand stays under. Come here and over. Slowly at first, gradually increasing your speed. Just keep your hands and your wrists close together and your elbows down mostly. They're going to come up a little bit, but fight for it. You need to fight to grow, fight to get better. Most people fight to quit. They look for all the reasons why things don't work. All the reasons you can't. You don't have enough time. You don't have enough money. You're not old enough. You're not young enough. So you fight to find all these great reasons that you can't do something. When all you really need is one reason why you can. And it could be as simple as because you want to. Because you want to, and then you fight for that. Fight for one reason to keep going. One reason to grow. One reason to get better. That's all you need. Fight for it. You gotta fight for yourself. Sometimes you're the only one who's gonna fight for yourself, right? Everybody else is gonna tell you why you can't. Say, shut up, get out of my face. I'm too busy doing it to listen to you. Tell me why I can't. You gotta say that sometimes. All right, now, in your left hand or your right, doesn't matter. You're gonna start your figure 8. And again, today we're doing a lot of finger rolling, but to get there, I want you to warm up the wrists first, side to side, put it in the other hand, forward spins. Just gonna do a few here, then put it in the other hand, forward spins. If you wanna see how I'm going from one hand to the other, it's exactly the way we started. We started here, and then we went into turning from one hand to the other one. When you go into your figure 8, and you bring it on the opposite side of your body. This is my left hand, right side of the body, pinky to pinky, same way you did at the beginning. Then figure 8 or infinity spin here, endless spinning. It's all the same thing. When it comes to the opposite side of the body, the other hand takes it pinky to pinky, and then start to go continuous. A continuous motion. Start walking forward and back. If you have a little bit of space, take one step forward, one step back. If you're outside training and you can, go for a run, spinning your staff. You get really good that way, right? Start running, start moving faster, get your heart rate up, lean your body out, learn how to fight for yourself, fight for your fitness. Sometimes we need to fight. We live in a world where everybody says, don't fight, don't fight, don't fight. And then the fringe people come out. The Antifa and the weirdos, the communists, I mean. Anarchists, that's the word I was looking for. They start tearing down statues and burning stuff and torching people's businesses and doing all kinds of horrible stuff. We're supposed to just stand there with our mouth open and say, well, wait a minute. Am I allowed to be upset about that? Am I allowed to fight for my stuff, for my family, for what I believe in? Yes. The answer is yes. You can learn to listen, but it's hard to listen when they're doing some crazy stuff, right? Learn how to speak up for yourself and say, you know what, you have every right to be angry. You have every right not to like me. You have no right to cross this line. You have no right to touch me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to believe in what I believe in. You don't have to agree with me, but you can't make fun of me. You can't tease me. You can't push me around. You can't punch me in the face. You can't steal my life and liberty. You have to say that. You got to fight for yourself. That's why I love martial arts. Because martial arts is fighting. It's fighting. You're learning, you're training. You have to condition your body. That's why I want you to move from side to side, going faster and faster. Faster, and then bring it back into that first hand and go to the front and the back of your body. Front and the back. From here. You know, there's that saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That goes in your own life. That's what that means. That's not some big political statement. That's about, like, what do you believe? Do you believe in taking care of your body? Do you believe in being healthy? Do you believe in eating, exercising right, consistently? You have to believe in that and then take some action. And then as you take action, your belief grows stronger. The more you invest your time, blood, sweat, and tears into a belief, the stronger that belief becomes until it becomes who you are as a person, it becomes your identity. Working out, spinning a staff is your new identity. And that's a good identity. And then it develops your voice. You don't have to like me, but you can't make fun of me. You don't have to like me, but you can't touch me. You don't have to agree with me, but this is my physical space. Stay out of it. And look, I've got this big stick. I'll create some distance between me and you. If you want to try to cross that line, you have to get around this first, and then I'm going to strike you with it for self-defense. But it's not just a metaphor. People think, oh, that's a great metaphor. It's not a metaphor. It's the truth. Fight for something. All right, I like to get all excited and think about fighting when I'm practicing martial arts because they go hand in hand. If you can walk away, walk away. If you can turn the other cheek, turn it. But if you need to get your hands up, defend yourself, start to strike a little bit, right? Create distance between you and the threat. Don't let them get to your family. Don't let them destroy you. Anything that threatens your family, threaten it back with a 6-foot stick. And again, not a metaphor, but you have to believe in yourself first. All right, so you did that. Now go into the reverse, pulling. So let me show you the difference. You were doing the sideways. Yeah, but you know what? So many people don't want to speak the truth. And if you watch the media at all, they'll convolute it. So you get confused about what's the truth. Oh, I'm supposed to stand here and let you smack me on both sides of my face? And I didn't do anything? You turn it off and you go get your stick and you start to sweat and you start to train and grow. And then you say, look, all I can really do is take care of my family. All I can really do is take care of myself. And then if I see somebody else being wronged or being hurt, I can speak up and say, hey, that's not cool. I saw that. I saw what they said to you. You can reach out to somebody who's being bullied. You can say, let's go together. Let's talk to somebody who can help, or I can help. We're not going to let them keep picking on you like that. That's not right. But it all starts with yourself. You have to believe it. It's like when you're in a relationship. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to have any room to love the other person. If you don't believe in yourself, you don't stand for yourself, you're not going to be able to stand for anybody else. All right, we're doing this reverse. We're pulling it up, and then go to the front and the back of the body. And start to speed that up when you're ready to get more speed. Pull this up and in. Stomach tight. Small motions. And then the other hand, pulling and pulling. The small side, gradually increasing your speed, going faster and faster, front and back of the body. And then go into your reverse transfers. Go from one hand to the other, start to walk forward, walk back. And like I said, and that wasn't a joke either, if you're outside, you can go for a run, and you don't care what anybody thinks, because you're running and spinning a 6-foot pole, do it. Go for a big run. Get your body leaned out faster. Get your heart rate up. Learn how to move through space and time with your staff. Yeah, persist, but then there's some things that you can do to, I call them skill accelerators. If you're stuck with the Joe in training, and the Joe is a more intricate weapon, it's more delicate, and it has more delicate moves. It has more complex moves. The moves with the Joe or the bow, the one I have right here, these are big moves. So it's a little bit easier to get started with this. But once you get to that Joe and you're talking about really finite and complex moves that you would do with your Joe, then you have to persist a little bit, but you can also do some things that give you better handling of your Joe. Here's one of them, sliding hand to hand. I call this a skill accelerator, and it's ugly and it's not fun at first. If you had your Joe, you would start with your hands on each side, and this is funny because it's a good 2 or 3 feet longer than a Joe, maybe 2 feet. But you would slide your hands all the way out to the ends, and then you would go back the other way, and you would spin 5 minutes on this, just going one direction. Maybe 2.5 minutes one way, and then 2.5 minutes going the other way. And that's gonna start to give you a better feel for it. The second thing is what we're here to talk about today, which are these finger rolls. And finger rolls with a Joe or a bow are not only gonna give you that extensor exercise that you need to keep this all healthy, because all we do is hold. It's like old men, and I've seen this now because there were a lot of old men, and they golf, and they're holding that golf club, and they're hitting it. They're doing the same motion for 40 years. They've been golfing for 40 years, and all of a sudden, these last 3 fingers are all arthritic, and they got the osteoarthritis, and the doctor says, it's hereditary. No, it's not. It's because their posture's so bad for 40 years hitting the ball, and all they do is squeeze that golf club. If all you do is turn, squeeze your hand on this, and you never open it, this is opening. This is extending the muscles, extensor exercise. So this is the counterbalance that'll keep you from those arthritic fingers and get your hand to open. You have to have opening as well as closing, and almost everything is closing, right? Closed, closed. This is all closed exercise. The hand's gripping. You need extending or opening, and that's why I love finger rolls. All right, so let's just get into it. So we've been talking about it so much. What I'm doing here, I'm starting, I'm left-handed, so I'll put it in my right. I'll give my left hand a rest. Start it in my right hand, put it in your right hand. Your thumb and your first finger, is your pistol. You're gonna turn it in, and then each finger takes a turn, turning it. This is gonna be a continuous finger roll. And if you get stuck, I use the same hand to keep it going. If you get stuck, use your other hand. Don't be afraid to get this other hand in there and keep it moving. This is a very heavy staff I'm using right now for this exercise. It's the white oak. It's my favorite staff. So doing it slowly with a heavy staff is a little bit harder. You need the momentum. But see how I'm using the other hand just to keep it going and keep it from, and it's gonna fall and hit the ground. And every time it falls and hit the ground, pick it up. If this is your first time doing finger rolls, or you haven't been doing it a lot, it's gonna fall a lot. And these videos sometimes I think can be a little deceptive or deceiving because I don't drop it as much as I did when I was a beginner. But when I was a beginner, man, I probably dropped it way more than you're ever gonna drop it. But that's why I'm so good. That's how you get really good at this. Every time you drop it and pick it up, you just got better. It's like all these tiny little level ups, and then you go to a higher level, a new skill set. All right, so you go all the way up, and then you go back down on the hand. Anytime you get lost, just go back to the beginning, start it over, bringing it back up, keep it going. I always like to look at the fingers. It reminds me of a spider walking on your pillow late at night. You're half asleep. You see it out of the corner of your eye. You think it's a drain, but it's not. You wake up, you got a big lump on the side of your face. True story. You should have woke up and brushed the spider off your pillow. That'll creep some of you out. All right, keep that going. Is this more simple? Goes between each finger, goes down and then comes back up. I keep hitting the tripod. But you can see what's happening is it's really starting to engage or fire the muscles in my forearm. You're gonna feel that. Then go through the fingers until you get to the pinky finger and the ring finger. When it comes to this, these two fingers here, put the first three fingers together and allow it to balance over the top, the same way you would do a wrist roll. See how it balances on top? My wrist, and then I turn and I grab it. Same thing's happening here. Get it to those last three fingers. The thumb comes up, takes it, and again, use this hand if you need to until you get it. Be patient with yourself. Remember, you gotta fight to grow. That means, and a lot of times when you get frustrated because you're not growing fast enough or quick enough, and I know that's why you asked me about the Joe, should you just persist? And we all do it. Your arrogance, your ego gets in the way. I should be better than I am. Why? Why? Why should you be better than you are? Why should you move faster? Who are you to say that you should be really good at something or not good at something? Maybe that's just what it takes. It's good to ask for help, find a different coach, change your training, but at some point, just keep going. Most of us quit way too soon. If you quit way too soon, in most things in your life, you'll be frustrated your whole life. And sometimes that's it. You just gave up too early. Just keep fighting. Fight until it hurts. Fight until you're bored. Fight until it seems stupid. And then keep fighting. And see what happens. Don't give up so fast. And especially in this society we live in now, this world, we give up way too early. We've conditioned ourselves with these stupid screens, the tablets and the computers, and there are all these buttons to push to make things easier and faster. Double-edged sword, right? So that's so this is continuous. I want you to do both. I want you to continually spin your staff through your fingers. And then, for the sake of training and freestyle, a three-finger roll. And what that is first, second, third finger. When it gets to the last two fingers, the first three come together, and the thumb comes up and continues the turn. Now, if you're spinning, that allows you to continue spinning. It's just a transition move, but you could also, let me change my angle here. Exactly. Good point. You can also do it, you can do this continuously is my point. So you can do that three-finger roll and just keep it going. But the purpose of the three-finger roll is to move into the spin again. So you go into the three-finger roll and it's a stall over here. It doesn't really stall because it's not stopped, but it's spinning. Like this is both sides. So it's about timing, right? I've got a rhythm, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that's what it's for. It's to create a visual effect and to give some structure, but also some rhythm and some texture. That's the word, some texture to your bow staff spins, especially when you start to freestyle. All right, so let's kind of backtrack a little bit. I know I talked about the wrist roll to the wrist roll. So if I look at this as the small side of my hand, or the pinky side, and I turn my hand up and allow that to balance here, and then I go back the other way. It's hard for me to do the grappling videos because I don't have a partner. You know what I mean? So right now, no, I'm not doing any throws or submission videos, but there's so many great ones out there. Go and look for like Jocko Willink, and I know he's real big as the Navy SEAL, and he wrote some great books. If you own a business, his ownership, or if you're just a human, his book on ownership, extreme ownership, he and Leif Babin, they wrote that. I think Jocko was the CO, and then Leif was probably like his XO or something. They both sound like officers to me. Anyway, I would go look at those, but you have to, those are harder to find. But he does some in-depth stuff. He's a great, and I've been to his gym out in San Diego, which is really, it's his gym and Dean Lister's gym, great gym. BJ Penn, I trained briefly, like hours, like 4 hours or something. BJ Penn's gym on the Big Island of Hawaii, and this place is amazing if you ever get to go there. At the top is this real fancy ladies gym, and then you go downstairs, and in the bottom is all these young people from all over the world. He's one of the best grapplers there is, BJ Penn and his brother. And he's got this amazing gym. And then you walk like 20 minutes, not even that, you get a latte across the street at Starbucks, go down 10 minutes to the beach in the bay, on the Big Island in Hawaii. Beautiful, beautiful space. Great martial arts schools in Hawaii, by the way. It's hard to make any money in Hawaii, I think, in martial arts, unless you're a big name like BJ Penn, because they all come. But BJ Penn's got amazing jiu-jitsu videos. I train with these, the judo guys, the guys that do the best throws. If you want to do the best throws, some of those guys are in the States. Some of the American guys. Who's that big guy, Ruben? Big judo guy. He does the catch as catch can, and I think he just fought the big Russian again. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Anyway, Mike Swain. Mike Swain still has some of the best videos. If he's old school judo. I used to have his Swain mats in one of my schools. Amazing products, but Mike Swain's got some great judo videos. There's some new takes on judo. You still can't beat some of the old Sugata, the old Japanese movie by Akira Kurosawa. Sanshiro, the undefeated. And then this guy, he goes to Brazil and he whips the Gracies. And if you're a Gracie fan or whatever, I am too, but it's cool to understand that the old judo guys. And then there was a Gracie Hunter. Anybody remember the Gracie Hunter? He was this old judo Japanese guy, big time wrestler, but just an amazing judo player. He's got some amazing submission and throw videos. Anyway, I know too much information on that. Just got me going down a rabbit hole there. So get this going, right? One side and the other side, and then go back into spinning from one side to the other. Start to move forward. Let me show you from the side. So you're moving forward, moving back, and then when you come to one side, stall over here. Change the, thank you, I appreciate that. It's interesting to you and me anyway, right? When you come over here, here's where we add texture by changing the timing up. So I have the timing is going hand to hand. I'm moving forward, I'm moving back, but I want to add some variation, so I add in a wrist roll. And then I go into one hand spinning, and then you can do wrist roll, you can go into a finger roll, wrist roll, but you just add that finger roll and you can see that it changes your timing when you start to do your freestyle. Then go back into your freestyle moving, turn your whole body around, which will put you in the reverse spin. Turn your body around, forward, turn around, reverse, and then play around with your turns. Turn back the other way, and as you're turning, just keep it moving. And at any point, if it makes sense, throw in a wrist roll. Throw in a wrist roll while you're turning. Throw in some finger rolls while you're turning. And now all of a sudden, you're starting to add some more. As you're stepping backward, as you're turning backward. Let me answer that question, because it doesn't matter. I'll answer both. If you're spinning forward in front of your body, when you turn, let me try to turn this way so you can see what my hand does. So we'll go back here. Forward spinning. As I simply turn my body, in order for it to keep spinning, it has to go into a reverse spin. When I turn back, it has to go into a forward spin. It can't go any other way. When you're walking forward or you're walking backward, it doesn't really matter if you're spinning forward or spinning backward. They're both correct. So you can spin, you can walk backward. As you're spinning backward, you can walk forward as you're spinning backward. But what I want you to see is that you can start to turn around, and then all of a sudden you've added a new dimension, more texture. And texture and variation is what makes everything exciting, right? It's like if you lived in San Francisco, the weather's always the same, always temperature. San Diego's similar to that, and you think it's heaven. But after you live there for like a year and a half, you think, I want to go to the mountains. I want to go to the desert. I want to go sunny South Florida and bake and be too hot and have humidity, because it's all the same. It seems like super cool and interesting. Or it's like if all you ate was pizza every day. I love pizza, right? Yeah, pizza and ice cream, day after day after day. And my parents had a restaurant when I was a kid, and I had to scoop this ice cream. I used to love ice cream. After 3 years of scooping ice cream, I didn't eat ice cream for like 8 or 9 years. Couldn't stand the sight of it, couldn't smell it. Some of you have ever done a job like that, you know what I mean. But anyway, the point is, add some variation in your move by adding some turns, get your spins, get your finger rolls. I almost went backward, and you can go backward on the finger rolls. I have to kind of think about it a little bit. If I'm going forward, spin, forward, wrist roll, but then I reverse it. Now I can do the finger roll in the reverse over here. Okay, one more thing, and I know most of you already know how to do this. Go behind your back and pull it out. Behind your back and pull it out. And all you're doing from here is pull it out there. So go behind your back, pull it out, keep spinning. As you turn, let it come behind your back, turn, come behind your back, turn the other way, goes behind your back. And then the only thing left to do after that is to go over your head and behind your back, over your head, as you're turning, behind your back, up, over your head. You get the point. Add your wrist rolls, add your finger rolls, and now all of a sudden you've leveled it up like 5 or 6 times, but just with basic skills. And I know none of these by themselves are not super easy, but with just a little training every single day, you're gonna get there really fast. Now, today's burner for your forearms and your grip, the final exercise is gonna be this wrist roll into a wrist roll. And what I want you to do is really push and then stop it and push it back the other way. So I want you to create all of this energy in the spin and then push it back the other way so that you start to build the forearms and the wrists, your strength, your speed, your flexibility, your power for when we go back to fighting and defending yourself. You have the strongest grip possible, and your hand, your staff will be made out of oak, but so will your forearm, so will your fingers, your tendons, all your muscles. You'll feel like you're made out of an oak tree, and you'll hit like that. And when you hit somebody, it won't feel like when somebody else hits them. With your staff and for self-defense, because you have that much more power. And that's not big muscles, that's density of muscles, and that's that quick fiber or twitch muscle, and then that's that healthier, stronger tendons, and then the stuff inside your bone. The bone marrow actually changes, and that comes from all of the contact that you're making. So your hands become like rocks, right? And your arms become like oak trees. Anyway, thanks so much. Check out the links below if you're interested. I put some links in there to the curriculum page on the pasquinelli.com page. If you want to send me an email, info@quantumstrong.com. I love hearing from you guys. I'd really love to hear from you, not just on the videos, but also through the email.